I don't see it, man.
Doesn't say.
All right, it says,
it's a delay.
Welcome to live chat. Remember to let your dog outside so he doesn't pee on the floor.
What are you talking
That's
about?
so random.
Wait, is that a comment?
Yeah, it's just it's giving you like just common sense advice.
YouTube
Welcome to the live chat.
Oh.
Did you leave the stove on? So weird.
Do you ever worry about that, leaving the stove on?
Certainly, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
All right, hey, there we are. Now it's all delayed.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, there's that. Hey, Andrew, how you doing? I wish it wasn't delayed. Why?
Well, yeah, it's
just what it is. Yeah.
Live streaming. That's just how it works.
Can you beep the cuss words out?
No,
Nope.
we can't.
Okay.
So don't curse. For those who are curious as to what's going on, Dale pulled up the chat so he can read all your comments.
I see everybody. What's up, Dale? Says Anthony K. How you doing? I love this. I don't know why I haven't done this all these years.
It's so much fun, isn't it?
Yeah, because they're having fun.
Yes.
Remember to let your dog out.
Do I think North Wilkesboro should get a points raise for Cup? Yes. 400. We talked about this.
I asked questions.
Sorry. Yeah.
Hey. Sorry. Network cable guy.
This is Ask Junior Live, and we are on our YouTube page. Thank you guys for liking. Make sure you like. I'm going to hit that button right now. I'm going to like it, and I'm already subscribed.
Yeah, I like it.
So I'm sure everybody here's already subscribed. Make sure you hit that. I see only 21 of you have liked it.
I liked it.
Let's let you go up. Come on. It's not going up in real time. I guess I have to refresh. But anyways, I'm glad you're here. We had a conversation, me and TJ, around the Bowman Gray race. I think the general consensus is that it was fun. Everybody had fun, and we hope to do it again. So we'll see what goes down in the future, but hopefully you'll tune in and listen to some of our critiques or opinions about what we experienced this past weekend. I was working in Florida, so I didn't get to go to Bowman Gray, but TJ was boots on the ground. And so we both had two unique perspectives, I think, consuming the race in person versus on a TV. But we got some great questions. Andrew's here, gonna get some great questions for us today for Ask Junior. So let's get started.
Yeah, this is fresh off the presser here.
Oh.
And Charles wants to know. So Xfinity just announced the Xfinity Fastest Lap, which will be awarded 1 point to the driver and team in each series who runs the fastest lap of the race. So just, I guess, initial thoughts, reactions. What do you guys think of that?
So if I'm hearing this right, Xfinity will have a fastest lap award in Xfinity Series
and Cup and Truck. Yep.
And whatever driver runs that lap,
like the fastest lap of the race.
Fastest lap of the race.
You get a point. It's pretty cool.
I think it's amazing. I do miss like the most laps led bonus, even leading a lap bonus. I miss that because I remember being a kid and just, Dad was going to race for championships. You knew that. And that was kind of we were certainly spoiled in that regard. We knew when we went to the racetrack, Dad was racing for a championship, so every day was an important day to get as many points as possible. And so you were literally willing Dad into the lead in these races back in the 80s and the 90s, going, we got to lead a lap. All right, we did it. We led that lap. We got that point. We got that 5 points. And if he was having a really great day, that was a conversation you were having before even the race ended. Did we just lock that up? Did we lock up leading the most laps right there? Yeah, we did. Okay, no one can get that point, that 5 points from us. And those were things that entertained you. Those were ingredients and little nuggets about NASCAR that entertained fans. So I love this. I think this is perfect. In the 1998 and 1999 Xfinity Series seasons, MCI, I think, is the brand or the company. There was a company that had a $10,000 bonus to whoever ran the fastest lap in the race. You had to be leading the race to for this lap to count. But Tony Jr. and our whole team, that was really important. They didn't, it wasn't that they got the share in the $10,000 check, but they wanted to be the team that got that every week. It was being the fastest was a point of pride to Tony Jr. and Tony Sr. And I have every single, they would give you, so that, if you won the MCI Fastest Lap Award at the Xfinity race, the next weekend during drivers' intros, when you were introduced, whatever award you won the week before or multiple, they would bring that onto the stage. So you would go up, get introduced, pause, stand there, and they would say, winning last week's MCI Fastest Lap Award, Earnhardt Jr., and they'd bring this big giant check up there, and an MCI or whoever the person was with the company, or the Plasticoat crew chief of the race. They would have the crew chief that won that award the last week at the stage, and he would go up and get introduced and accept his award and this big cardboard check. I have all of those MCI Fastest Lap awards hanging in my garage at home right now. That's how much those
It's
meant.
a big deal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Might not be significant today because it's a very small award, and it didn't give points toward the season total or anything like, but it was just it was just another carrot out there for Tony Jr. and the team to chase, and they wanted all the carrots. Mm-hmm. They didn't want anyone else to win anything. And so I love this. I think these type of little things that drive competition or push our competitors to achieve is really cool. And as we know, and I know the fans joke about this when we say in our broadcasts, every point matters. They joke about that because we say it over and over. Like they know every point matters, right? We don't have to keep saying it, but we do. We do say it. There may be a new fan tuned in that doesn't know that every point matters, and we need to tell them.
Guess what?
Yeah.
It does.
And so this is a point that's out there for these guys to try to strive to accumulate. And you could win multiple of these, right? And that could really make a difference in seeding for the playoffs or even making the playoffs.
Imagine being on the cut line and just you're 1 point out and you run a heater of a lap and now all of a sudden you're in.
Yeah.
Or you're watching, can someone else beat that lap? Like it's something that's another storyline to follow during a race.
So where this is probably going to take most place is Talladega in the playoffs.
I would love for this. I'm not sure about the details. I'm not sure about what are you laughing at?
Dalton just commented in the YouTube chat, hey guys, just letting you know every point matters, in case you didn't hear.
I'm not sure about the details of this particular bonus point. It would really, really be great if it was only tracking the leader of the race and not just anyone. I mean, and I guess it really doesn't matter at every other racetrack except for, to your point, TJ, Daytona and Talladega.
Yeah. We do this already, but we just don't get points for it because your fastest lap of the race is already weighed in. So
keep going. Tell us why.
Because if it all matters in your qualifying position next week, and sometimes if you in the lower series too, sometimes if you don't, it matters how well your pit stall is going to be and things like that. So we're already doing this every week if you can.
So the fastest lap that you run in the race affects your qualifying, your pit stall, all of those. When you get to choose and when you get to decide the next weekend, right? It is part of the equation that decides the qualifying order.
Like if qualifying
the order.
gets rained
Yes.
out.
Oh, got it. Yeah, right.
Pit stall selection.
Right.
And so to TJ's point, they're already all out there, especially
doing
at
that.
Atlanta. If you're not up in the top 10, you're not going to drive up in there and get your ass wrecked.
Yep.
You're going to go to the back and get these big toes and try to be the guy that puts this insurmountable lap up to be able to know that that's going to help you next week in qualifying order and so forth, which may mean something, may mean nothing, depending on how the weather and all the dynamic track is for qualifying the next weekend. But they're doing this.
Yeah, I have a screen. I have a screen in front of me that I can go to and look at the fastest laps of the race, so I can see where we stack up.
Huh.
And so for Talladega, Daytona, Atlanta, and some of those tracks, I almost feel like that this only should matter to the car that's leading the race. This bonus point, right, for the fastest lap should only go to the fastest lap should only be tracked by the lead car.
Like if you're leading when you run
fifth,
that lap.
Yeah, if you're fifth and you run the fastest lap, sorry. Great. But you got to be leading the race to acquire this award. I don't know. Maybe
I like that. I like that the whole field is involved.
I will tell you this from
I think
what
in
I've
Talladega
seen.
Daytona, though, it's gimmicky.
Oh, it's going to be gimmicky. That's what I was telling you.
Do
The
you not
playoff race.
understand?
Yeah, no, I understand. I mean, hell, let it be gimmicky.
No. Sorry.
I mean, at Daytona, Talladega,
Let
you
nothing,
know,
let nothing be gimmicky. Nothing.
listen,
We got
I don't
plenty-
like the gimmicks, but
Yeah.
like if it's part of the game you play at Daytona, Talladega, it's part of the
It's
game.
not.
I don't like the gimmicks, but let it be gimmicky.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, then I don't want to use the word
Sorry.
gimmicky. Never mind.
We are roasting you in front of a live audience. That's not
Thank
very
you
Yeah,
very
I'm
nice.
sorry, Andrew.
In
That's
front
not
of
very nice.
619 viewers. Let's see, because I want to get to people were asking some great questions last week too, and I see a lot of good questions in the YouTube chat as well. But Matt was asking last week, I think he was on Twitter, what's your favorite or least favorite eBay purchase that you've made?
My favorite or least?
I guess what's like an eBay purchase maybe you regret?
Oh, shoot.
Like you're like, I didn't really need this.
Well, I mean, that probably happened more often on
I was gonna
Amazon.
say, that's probably most things.
No, I mean, if I'm buying something on eBay, I know that I really want this,
Yeah.
right? I'm bidding for it. It's not like a frivolous, oh, that looks cool. Let's see if this is neat.
Yeah,
Amazon
right.
will get you.
Amazon, that shit happens
Yeah.
too many times. I'll buy something on Amazon and it comes in and it's like, ah, damn, the quality's not as good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I buy stuff and forget I bought it, and then it shows up and be like, what did I order?
Yeah, I think Amy does that too. So we've had a couple of things come in, and it's like she's like, I don't remember ordering this, and I'm like, so it's a mistake, and she goes, yeah, I don't think I don't need that.
I like when
I
she
don't
does
have
that.
I'm like,
Because I've got, most time when I come over, she's like, I ordered this, we don't need it. You want it? Yeah, sure.
oh geez, we had a we had a set of taillights come in. It looks like it's for like a golf cart, right?
Damn it, Amy.
Little plastic brake lights. And it looks like they're very cheap, and looks like it's probably for like a very low end golf cart or something like that. And so it's her name on the box. I didn't order it because I don't need taillights for something, and she certainly didn't order it. Where's this shit coming from? who sent it? TJ's ordering it. And was it Amy? Yeah, it's sometimes like once a year, a package will come. It makes no sense whatsoever.
I'm gonna start sending you these ghost
So
packages.
weird.
TJ,
Ghost
you want to
package.
get in on?
Ghost packages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be, don't they like that Christmas thing where it's like random gifts or whatever?
I am.
Yeah.
I'm basic. If I'm on eBay strictly to buy custom diecast.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Strictly. Yeah.
Oh.
If I'm on eBay and buying something, it's a custom diecast. There's a couple guys, I probably follow about 6 or 7 sellers that make customs, and they typically make a custom, post it, sell it, and then maybe 3 or 4 weeks later they'll make the next custom, post it, and sell it. And oftentimes it's a custom of my dad's, and Dad has all these random. I got a photo album in my phone of all these random one-off cars that he drove for people. Like he'd get hired to go to this racetrack, paid $6,000 to go up north somewhere.
I was going
on
to
a
say, he did a
Friday-
lot of that, didn't he?
Yeah, on a Friday
Yeah.
night before the Cup race, and he'd go drive some local guy's car and run the feature or match race with another Cup driver like Mark Martin or Schrader. And people are now into making customs of some of these random cars that Dad had driven. And so, I don't know that, I mean, if I find one and I'm like, that's a real quality job this guy's done. We've got the new towers coming in, the new display cases coming in that Lionel has now made available again. So I got 2 of those ordered, and so I'm still into increasing my diecast collection, but it's mostly customs. Now, I have all of the late model cars that we've created, like this Sundrop, Cherry Lemon Sundrop car. So, I mean, if Lionel made any of the late model stuff, I'm going to have all that. We've had a couple of drivers come in here and autograph theirs, and I've taken those home. So I got like a Chastain autograph, a Logano autograph, Lionel. and Scott Bloomquist brought us an autographed diecast of his. So that's all that kind of stuff's in my collection. I'm hoping to get you guys over there one day with a camera and put all this stuff on film and push out a little social media clip about my personal collection, right? What's in it and why do I like this and why do I want this? Mm-hmm. And so I've got a little case dedicated to Ralph Earnhardt. That would have been one of them cheap cases that I bought on Amazon that I thought was way better than it ended up being, but it's still pretty cool. So anyhow, we're getting in the weeds, but I strictly buy a custom diecast on eBay. Regrettable purchases would probably fall under, buying something that you thought would be, this isn't really regrettable, but it was kind of a waste. So cars today, my truck, for example, don't have CD players, right?
Okay.
I've got some old music that like maybe it's a local band from Charlotte, right, that didn't make it big, but I've got that CD, right, from 25, 30 years ago. And I'm not going to rip it onto, my phone.
Digital?
Yeah.
Why not?
I don't know. Just not. I'm just like, I got the CD, so I bought a CD player that would plug into my USB in my truck to play.
Didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah. To play old CDs.
Yeah.
And I rode around in my truck for about 2 weeks listening to this old CD. And then, that was 2 months ago, and now that CD player, that little external CD player, has been sitting on the shelf. And
because you need
I walk
CD.
by it and I go, I really need that. I mean, that didn't really need that. But, yeah.
That's a good one. I'm always curious about like who's actually reviewing these things because like I look at the reviews because you were saying like, oh, this was not a good quality item. I'm always curious like who's leaving these reviews.
I'll check the reviews.
I do too, but I'm like, who actually writes a review?
Yeah.
I would never write a review on, but I don't know.
Have you never wrote a review? I've never wrote a review on Amazon, but I've
written a review on like about restaurants or something.
I wrote a review on Apple with music, like when somebody released a new record.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I've written probably about two or three
good or bad
Apple reviews. Good.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, I'm not going to write a review to shit on something.
I don't know. Some people do.
Maybe you should go back
By
to
the way, you can rate and review this podcast as well. Go do that.
Not impressed with this album. Let me write a review real quick. Let me take 15 minutes out of my day. No, it's like one of your favorite bands releases a new record. You listen to it and you're like, hell yeah, they still got it. I freaking love this new record. I got to tell somebody. And you go in there and you fill it on out. Damn right, buddy. I'm normal. What the fuck?
Well, maybe you should review the. The CD player and just write, in the review, just write, "Do you really need this?"
I think twice. Used it for a week.
I need to write that review.
That's what I'm saying. Review it.
I really like this, but damn it.
Do you really need this?
In 2 weeks, you're gonna regret buying this.
This is really
That's an honest
random.
review.
You got to look up it's like the Haribo sugar-free gummy bears on Amazon.
Wait, how's that go again? What are they?
They're like these sugar-free gummy bears on Amazon.
Haribo?
People leave, the Haribo or I don't know.
Haribo?
Yeah, just look it up after this, and it's hilarious. I want to see some comments in the YouTube chat after this. But all right, we got time for one more quick one.
Oh shit!
Let's see. I know.
Wait, we just started.
Yeah. This one's from Cole. This was from last week's YouTube chat. And I took a screenshot of it because it was good. Yep. He says, I'm doing my bachelor party in Daytona. What are some good bars to go to raise hell?
There aren't any more. Yeah. The bars that we used to raise hell at don't exist anymore.
No, not.
How
like
come?
20 years ago.
I don't know. There could be some good staples.
No, I have no clue. If I was to...
It's not like there's a ton of like... I know where they're going to end up, but I mean, there's not... I mean, there's a lot of good...
What is it? Ocean Deck or...
Yeah, Deck Down Under, Ocean Deck. There's both of them, I think.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I mean, if I was thinking about this because I'm going to go to Daytona, and there may be a little bit of downtime, and since I'm not driving a race car, I might actually go out to the beach and just kind of hang out at some of the beach bars.
Yeah.
Have a few beers. Try to catch up with some, because a lot of industry people go to I think there is an Ocean Deck.
There is.
Sounds very familiar.
Right?
There is.
Yeah.
I should completely know the names of these places, but
Well, that's changed too, you know.
yeah, I haven't been to the beach part of Daytona in a very long time. But
Yeah.
There's only like one club, and I think that was Razzles.
Yeah.
I think it's actually still there.
still digging.
Yeah, and then there's the other establishments across the street that you'll end up at. But it is the Deck Down Under and the Ocean Deck. I do think both exist.
Yeah. So I would just go to them little beach bars and get you a bucket of beer and hang out and see who walks in. You might recognize some people. You might recognize some because a lot of the industry folks end up there. Mm-hmm. Might see us.
And it's a long week.
Yeah.
Like Tuesday or Wednesday on, so you'll see some people.
Yeah. I'm seeing some places in the YouTube chat. North Turn's another good one.
Yeah,
Ocean
North
Walk,
Turn,
Oyster Pub.
Oyster Pub. Yep, I recognize that.
The Brickyard.
Brickyard. I don't know about that one. You can go to New Smyrna. There's some pretty cool spots in New Smyrna.
Morgan Overstreet just texted me, said Yaya's, which is
that's
hole in the wall karaoke bar.
It's not it's Yaya's.
Yaya's.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think she's typing to correct me now too.
There's another town.
I've clearly been
there's
there.
another town right next to Daytona that starts with a D. What is it?
Daytona?
I think it's Deltona.
Yeah.
Stop.
No,
No,
seriously.
It's not.
Ju-
No, it's like it starts with a D, but I can't remember the name of it.
It is. It's right west of where
Yes.
it's at. Yes,
But it's got like vintage record store, and probably a couple cool bars and stuff there.
Okay. There is a Deltona,
It is
Florida.
Deltona?
It is.
No.
Yeah.
Shit.
I'm pretty
That
sure it
doesn't
is.
exist.
Deltona, Florida does exist. It's on a map.
This place is literally 10 miles away from Daytona.
It's like
Very
straight
close.
It's not far. Is it inland?
The land.
Yeah.
DeLand.
yes.
DeLand, you
Yeah.
dummies. Daytona.
It
Stop
it
it.
does exist.
Yeah.
I mean, there's.
I
a
will
lot
not
of
back down from this.
Destin, DeLand. DeLand.
Yeah.
A lot of
Halloween.
DeLand, yeah.
We got all these holidays too.
Yeah.
Okay, Travis.
Wait. What's the Shark Lounge? What is that?
Yeah. I think it's closed.
Is it?
I wouldn't know. But
Oh,
yeah,
man.
I think it is. I do think it's closed.
All right.
Okay, Travis gave me the we can ask one more question.
Hey,
So
thanks, Travis.
Thanks, Travis.
Thank you, Travis. For
Everybody.
extending.
Yeah.
Put a what should we put in the chat for celebrating Travis?
Give
Not
us
the fun
a
police.
beer emoji.
Beer emoji.
That's pretty good. Sign for Travis. This one's from Eric. Have you ever ridden? I think there's a roller coaster that was named after your dad at Carowinds.
Yeah.
Have you ever ridden that?
The Intimidator.
Yeah.
Yeah, they changed the name of it. I think
Oh,
a
really?
very contentious topic.
What the heck?
I'm just kidding. I never did ride that thing. Never.
Are you a roller coaster guy?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, just never got around to
No,
it.
never got around to it.
Darn,
Yeah.
that's a bummer.
I'm sorry. Let's ask another question.
Okay, all right.
That's not a very good one.
I saw a few of these, but this one's from Kathy, wanting to know about the Talladega Nights cameo, where you asked Will Ferrell for an autograph.
Yeah.
How did that go about? And then people even wanted to know, do you still have the page that he actually signed? Like the paper he signed.
Oh no. He scribbled. It wasn't like a real autograph.
Oh, really?
But so
Great. Movie's ruined.
I thought I feel like I told this story really recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we filmed. They asked me to come. They asked me to be a part of it. Of course, I was like, absolutely. Thanks for asking. Where do I go? When are we going to do this? We did it at Charlotte Motor Speedway. There was not a race happening that weekend, and we went. I drove over to the racetrack. Completely comfortable driving in there. Been going there my whole life, even when there's not a race going on, you know. So drive into the racetrack and over toward turn 4, the old Cup garage, and all of these campers and little rental campers and stuff are piled into this little blacktop. And there was they were like, just go in there and park, sit around, somehow catch you, somehow grab you, get you going, hair, makeup, whatever it is. And there was a little table with about 4 chairs, nobody sitting there. So I just sit down, started thumbing on my phone or something. And I got my head down, and somebody sits down at the table, and I look up, and it's Will Ferrell. And he was like, hey, man, how's it going? Thanks for coming today. And we sat there and just bullshitted for about 5-10 minutes.
That's cool.
And then he's like, I'm going to get going. I'm going to get ready and do this, that, and they want me over here. So I was like, he's like, they'll come get you in a minute. And I was like, all right. So we got ready. They drug me over to the, in the infield of the Charlotte Motor Speedway where it's kind of like the crosswalks, the crossroads of everything.
Yeah,
all the roads sort of converge.
Yes, yeah. I think they made it into a roundabout now.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
It is now.
Like right outside the entrance to the Cup Garage.
Oh yeah.
That's where
I know what you're talking about.
That's where we were standing when we filmed that little sign my forehead thing or whatever,
cool, yeah.
baby. So they got it. They had about 20 or 30 extras, and we were kind of gonna walk through the crowd and meet. And we had our lines that was scripted. He was a little bit of an ad-libber, and he could be free with whatever he wanted to say. So we did probably 3 or 4 takes, and they were like, "That's good." It was very quick, and that was that. I said, "Hey man, appreciate it, thanks." He said, "Thanks," and I went on home. And then if you watch the credits, you'll see more of the drivers and Will doing some stuff, and we did that at Talladega, and that was during the race weekend. They were like, "Hey, Will's going to come in. They want to film just some stuff. Y'all talking. He's going to be in his suit. You're going to be in the garage, and I don't know if they were planning to use it or just see how it worked, but they didn't end up using it in the movie, and I think it just rolls in the credits.
Yeah,
kind of like
I know what you're
blooper
talking
reel.
about. Yep.
That was a little more tense or nerve-wracking because they didn't have a script. They said, Will's going to just start talking, you just react.
What?
And that was really tough because, I mean, look, man, he's a professional comedian. And I felt like, am I supposed to be funny?
Right.
Or do I try to be funny? Because I'm never going to be as funny as him.
Yeah.
And what the hell do you do, And I didn't want to be a fool, right? And so I was going to try to be a smart ass back. But I was never going to be as good as him. So what the hell, So it was just tough, but it was really fun, really fun. They just basically had us kind of walking from 2 different directions. We're going to bounce into each other. He said something about like, hey, man, one, I think he's like, dude, you still got that? You got that 20 you owe me? Just, he just would come
He was just coming up with things.
Yeah, he would just randomly say something, and you're just like, oh, this is where we're headed.
And did you respond? Like, did you play
you're
along?
supposed to say something, so you say something, right? I don't remember what I said, but it's probably not very funny. But and we did that 3 or 4 times, and then he's like, they're like, all right, good. We're good, man. That's good. Appreciate it.
Wow. That's neat.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
But to your point earlier of saying like the second part of having to do those, it's hard to be like funny on command.
Yeah.
And I think that's what he's really good at.
Yeah. I will say this, man. It makes me think about that movie. And I told the story about watching that movie for the first time at Skywalker Ranch with George Lucas.
Yes. Yeah.
And I've seen the movie a couple times, obviously. I always felt like, and I wonder if there's any real truth to this, but that movie to me, the first half of that movie was full of really, really good moments, humorous, quirky, smart comedy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the second half of the movie felt like a completely different movie, still funny, but like it really feels like to me, and it's probably really unlikely, but it feels like there was an entirely different director on the first half versus the second half. Like the whole movie felt like it just had this one vibe, and then right at the middle point,
it's like we found a plot halfway through.
Yeah, and then it had a completely different vibe. Not bad, not good, not.
It's different.
It just totally different. Like the whole production crew quit at halfway, and they had to bring in this other one, and it just seems different. But the whole the vibe, like the story, like to your point, the plot sort of just got introduced in the middle of the show, But like the first part of the movie is a lot of just jokes about NASCAR, right? The what do I do with my hands and all of that stuff, and it's all the just quick, witty jokes about our sport, which was really fun to sort of the self-deprecation of NASCAR. And but then the second half, the plot comes in, and you're like, man, I kind of like the first half better. I was more entertained, I guess, by that. But anyway, still a good movie, and even though it was a joke, we can definitely handle being the butt of the joke.
I was curious what your thoughts were on that.
I didn't mind it. I thought it was good for NASCAR. I thought it put us in front of a new audience.
Yeah.
And yes, it poked fun at us. But I don't know that I don't know that it was not detrimental to NASCAR in any way.
Yeah.
I don't think. And so if anything, it kind of it improved our popularity outside of our own bubble, right?
Sure.
All the people that are already in the tent. But best favorite, strictly NASCAR. Favorite NASCAR movie.
Ooh. What's yours? You go first.
Last American Hero.
Okay.
Last American Hero is Jeff Bridges is the star. It's about Junior Johnson, roughly, loosely, and Junior Johnson's story as a moonshiner and a driver. And I don't know why. I think the reason why I like it is because it was before it was done in 71 or 72, 73, and it's before Hollywood eventually, right, is going to sensationalize. In the as we know, when we see movies made about people that we know the story, you see some of the Hollywood sensationalism creep into the story, and they embellish, right, in parts, because they got to make it right. Mm-hmm. It's a movie. But this was made about racing, about NASCAR, before that was really a thing, I believe. And so it's authentic. It's really authentic. And so, his when they're filming at the short tracks and filming his sort of rise to the big time, it's a really authentic feel. And staying in boring, lonely old hotel rooms and getting in disagreements with, these punks at these local racetracks.
Yeah.
And there's some footage of Ralph Earnhardt in there driving at Metrolina that's really neat. But I don't know. I just thought it didn't feel like they stretched any truths in that movie.
Authentic.
Yeah, it's really authentic. But some cool actors in it, too. Jeff Bridges, badass.
Yeah.
I mean, back before Jeff Bridges was super, super famous, he played played Junior Johnson in a NASCAR movie. How damn cool is that?
Yeah.
How many movies do you know of, Andrew? Racing movies?
Good question. I mean, well, I will kind of cheat and use the YouTube chat, and I did want to give them a shout out, but I'm seeing a lot of Strucker Race.
There's a
Days of Thunder,
Gary,
obviously.
Gary in here said Strucker Race. I love Strucker Race, and that reminds me too. Gary Busey was in Last American Hero. He's Jeff Bridges' brother, Gary Busey.
Yeah.
But I love Strucker Race. I thought Strucker Race was awesome. When I was a kid and it came out, I thought it was amazing, and it's still one of my favorites. Six Pack.
I think I saw. Yeah.
Love Six Pack as a kid.
Yeah.
Diane Lane.
Jake just said Six
Kids
Pack with about 10 exclamation points.
Six Pack was
YouTube chat.
Six Pack was badass because of the dirt car. That dirt car that Brewster Baker drove was freaking insane cool. That Camaro and the paint scheme on that thing, it was neat as hell. Brewster Baker is a badass racing name. I mean, just cool. And when you watch those movies, and Love Will Turn You Around, the theme song that Kenny Rogers had for Six Pack, that shit's in my rotation. I listen to that today. The opening guitar on Love Will Turn You Around, freaking awesome.
You listen to that today?
Yes, it is my favorite Kenny Rogers song, and I have many.
Yeah.
But I thought it was cool that Burt Reynolds, I mean, when Burt makes Strucker Race, he's coming off of all of those badass movies that he's making, Cannonball Runs and all of that stuff, and Smoking the Bandit. He's coming right off of that and could have probably done anything he wanted, and he made a racing movie.
It's awesome.
It is.
It's a big deal. That's a big compliment.
It was big.
Then.
It was really, really big for us to be, if you're a fan, I always looked at it like, shit, yeah, man, they're celebrating this niche thing that's happening in this little small corner of the country, and they're shining a light on us.
It's awesome.
Yeah, and so I loved all those movies. I don't think that I loved Days of Thunder. Thought it was cool. The rumors around that
number 2,
having a number 2, I'm down.
You're down?
Heck yeah.
Be so cool.
Yeah, we'll see.
I wonder what the plot would be for like Days of Thunder 2. You know,
I don't know. Yeah.
and Tom Cruise looks like he hasn't even aged. So
I'm
he'd be
curious if
sent back
they would
in
have
the
him.
day, too.
Yeah, I'm curious if he's still driving in Days of Thunder 2.
Yeah, right. Like,
is he the owner now?
he's like Casey Kane. Just
Yeah.
doesn't age.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is a good place to end. Ask Junior. By the way, 1,100 live viewers. as we
Damn.
speak. So thank you everyone for tuning in.
Way to go,
That's
y'all.
awesome.
Hey, and I'm seeing those likes. Y'all finally got them up into the 300s there. Good stuff. Hey, I appreciate y'all. Thanks so much for supporting us here. We're having a lot of fun. This year's gotten off to a great start. I'm loving having TJ here. And I'm loving that I found the chat because it does feel like y'all are sitting in this room.
Makes it different.
It
yeah.
does.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it is cool. So we had a great talk with Richard Childers for tomorrow's guest segment. You're going to want to tune in. Richard was on the show in 2019, and we went through that interview and kind of picked a bunch of stuff that we didn't get to. And obviously talking to him about current stuff going on in the sport with the lawsuit and the penalty at Richmond and all kinds of other things. And he was really mad at me and told me as such at Phoenix before we went to race for a championship with each other, and we talk about that. So you'll want to tune in. Great conversation with Richard to start the year off. We got some great guests coming down the pipe. We're already booking weeks out in advance, and it's gonna be a good year. So thanks for tuning in. Can't wait to do this next week. Also, don't forget, Bless Your Heart with me and Amy, our first show this Thursday. Should be a lot of fun. I mean, we may talk a little bit of racing, but it's just kind of going to be about me and Amy and the shit going on in our minds and what we got going on. So should be a good time.